If you want to make your marshmallows dense, here's our easy 56-step process to make that happen.
What is a vacuum chamber and how do we make one? The clickbait stops here because I'm looking out for you. Hello squids and welcome. I hope you are smiling, being productive, and working hard to accomplish your goals. I'm your boy Bach. Let's get right into the video. I was out for a run listening to the Try Guys podcast, #TryFam. This was actually like a hot second ago. It was back in the summer sometime. Anyways, they were talking about a funny video concept where they would vacuum seal random stuff in vacuum bags, which started my scientific mind rolling leading up to today's video. After some Google searching and many scientific articles and funny YouTube videos later, I called up my high school chemistry teacher to help. We set a date and went to work. Now, I recognize this isn't starting off the strongest, but I apparently lost the audio for this first clip. That said, the skinny of it all is that this is my awesome high school chemistry teacher, and we're going to use that glass thing to make a pressure chamber. He also looked at all the parts I had ordered online to do the project and found I had ordered the wrong stuff, so we had to go to the store and buy some things. We're here at Menards. I think that's where we decided to go for the sole sake that they have like the biggest store. And you're probably not used to filming in public, so you're like, this is a little awkward.
It's a little weird.
A little strange, but that's okay. So we have to get the, I don't even know what we have to get. I'm just gonna let him do compressors. Wouldn't that be it?
Yeah.
Going into this, I was aware of the basics behind what went into creating a vacuum chamber, but there were some specific aspects I would come to find out I was a little bit confused about, which would cause some snags, specifically the difference between a vacuum pump and air compressor. Sad story. The pumps that work are like $1 billion here at Menards, and they're giant.
Yeah. And most of those don't have two nozzles anyway.
Either. So here, I'll explain to you when we get in the car what the problem is. The point is, we're gonna try Home Depot. Hopefully that'll come in clutch, and if not, oh well.
Back to online.
Yeah, back to online. Okay, y'all, we're here at the Home Depot. You can tell because it's orange, and the people come up and ask you if you need help. Hopefully. Store number 2 has failed us. And by us, really, what Zvior had to say is, Tim, you failed us when you ordered the wrong thing. No, I'm just kidding. He's a lot more supportive of me than I am of myself.
We got this. We just need to head to a new source, aka the internet.
The internet, which is where we attempted firsthand, but idiot me didn't put 2 and 2 together that you needed to suck the air out, not put the air in. So here's the dilemma. For traditional pumps, like if you were blowing up your tires, or what else would you blow up? Like a beach ball or like a blow up bed? Yeah. What you would need to do is you would blow air like in. So you go like, right? But what we're trying to do is take air out. So a lot of these pumps that are kind of like the, not even budget, but even like the bigger ones like we were saying that right there at Menards, they don't have the take air out because it's not a common thing you need to do. Like in what other like circumstance besides this would you need to take air out?
Yeah, almost none.
None.
Other than if you're like deflating an air mattress, but those have their own, it's not a nozzle, it's just
and it's
a big
not
vent.
Small, and it's not completely like, yeah.
It's not gonna work for our purposes.
A little bit of wrench in the thing, and it'll just add to the interest of this video. Yeah, you gotta love science, guys. We're here at Chick-fil-A, honestly, even though nothing's working out. I feel like, because we get to eat at Chick-fil-A. Oh,
it's still a win.
It's still a win, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, well, so we'll say goodbye for you guys today here, but we will be ordering the new pump, which I'll show you guys when we order, and then we will try again another day. But we've decided not to get any of the other materials we need because we really want to see what the connection is.
Right.
From the pump.
Yeah. So the saga continues. Exactly.
I was honest to God so hungry, but after some Chick-fil-A, I was a little bit less upset about it, and especially because Mr. Bjornstad was really cool about everything. And he was all like, oh, this is the scientific process. You mess things up and you keep trying. While I'm here, I'd like to break down the whole vacuum chamber basics behind what makes them work. So a vacuum chamber is made up of 2 main parts. First, a strong airtight container that is strong enough to withstand a lower pressure than the air outside of it, such as a thick metal pan or a thick glass jar. The key is the larger the jar, the thicker the item, glass, metal, whatever needs to be, because there's more like area inside, there's more pressure-y things. Science. Which is connected to the second part, which is a vacuum pump that will suck out all the air. Now, as we just learned, a vacuum pump and an air compressor are two very different tools. A compressor pushes air into a confined space while a vacuum pump removes it. A visual explanation for this is that if you were to overcompress a chamber, it would cause the pressurized air inside the chamber to push outwards against the sides, causing the chamber to explode if the pressure inside the container was too high for the container to hold. On the other hand, a vacuum pump pulls the walls inward because it sucks out all the air, creating a low pressure environment. If the pressure is too low for the container to hold, it will cause the airtight chamber to come in on itself and therefore implode, kind of the opposite of explode. So explode is it's going out, implode is it's coming in on itself. In the same way, when you stick items that are predominantly made up of large numbers of air pockets, such as shaving cream, a balloon which is just a giant air pocket, or marshmallows, the lower pressure will cause these items to rapidly expand as the air around them is removed and the air trapped inside expands to fill space. In addition to being a really cool science experiment, vacuum chambers are used in the real world to remove gas from liquid plastics and create bubble-free castings for molds. With this new information and a better understanding in mind, let's go back to day 2. 2 weeks later, back in the car and it's fall, so it's freezing. It went from being like nice, what was it last time? Maybe like 75 degrees.
Yeah, 75
to,
degrees.
I mean, today I guess it's not that terrible, but like, I don't know, it's colder. It's one of the days where it's colder inside than it is out. Okay, but we're here and Smart Tim ordered the right pump with this time assistance in recommendations of which pump to buy.
This one doesn't create a perfect vacuum, but it gets it down to like, I think the recommended usage was like about 30 millimeters of mercury or 30 torque, somewhere in there, which is probably about 2% of atmosphere.
I don't know what that means, but but it sucks the air out, and point is,
check my math on that. There was some quick math. I don't know. That's exactly true.
But the point is that it'll suck the air out and make the unicorn poop marshmallows go really big. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Okay, we'll see you in the store because we're going to get some fittings to attach everything together. We're back from the Home Depot. That literally was a workout. Do you see this? Do you see? I look tired. And look at Mr. Bjorn's dad. Look at him. Look at that is the face of a man who's worked. Okay, I will say that here is what we finally came up with. Look at all this. This is what you call science. Look at that, science, okay? This was the most work I've done. Well, it wasn't the most work I've done in my life, but it was hard work. Would you say this was a difficult process?
Not yet.
Oh well.
This is a typical construction project.
Well, I mean, I get that, but it was also, it's just like, it's such little details and every little thing matters.
Yeah, true.
So it was a lot. And the people I think that were trying to help us, they didn't completely understand what we were doing, because there was stuff that worked that we ended up getting that was like more simple, right, than what they showed us or what we found initially.
Yeah.
I have more of these things if there's something else we need. Oh, here I am like checking my nose in the viewfinder. Okay, relatable, right? Who wouldn't? Let's take a moment to break down how exactly me and Mr. Bjorn's dad created our vacuum chamber. We used a very thick, large glass mason jar that came with its own lid that was airtight. Now the key is a large mason jar, not a gigantic mason jar. Again, if it's too big, it doesn't matter how thick the walls are, like it's gonna pop, implode, right? This should do it.
Yeah.
We connected it to the now infamous vacuum pump using leftover lab tubing from Mr. B's chemistry lab. And here comes a more specific part of all the little pieces that went into creating the valves. We connected 2 T-shaped pipe joints with a male pipe adapter, making sure the T opening faced the opposite way from each other. We drilled a hole in the metal lid of the mason jar and stuck a male adapter through it. We placed a rubber washer on each end and screwed on the T-joint to the top and tightened it with a nut on the bottom. We then attached a ball valve to either side of the T's using 2 more male connections. Oh, this looks so cinematographic, that's a word. And then screwed on a push-to-connect tube connector to easily connect the tube and secured both ends of the tube with a steel hose clamp. We also secured all the joints with a special grease that helps to create a more airtight seal. Nobody wants any gaseous toots coming out of this. Now just watch it like blow up. Implode, I'm sorry. Did you see that? He was getting a little testy there. Even after all the planning and work, the chamber took a little bit of trial and error to create really true airtight joints. Now I'm gonna go back and fill some of these joints with silicone for a stronger seal, but because we were trying to sort of create it and shoot on the same 2-hour span, we just filled it with a crap ton of that airtight grease. It's called pipe thread sealant. So who knew you could fry some eggs with grease and stop air. Here's the mini big test. Prepare.
Yeah.
I said that.
There's suction. That's why you gotta do that. It just pops off anyway.
Okay, first of all, do you want to try some unicorn poop?
Oh, this is gross.
You think it's gross? I didn't think it was the worst thing ever. It's just like a marshmallow. That was made in China and shipped over to the US. What are the stakes of what could happen right now?
Well, this jar could implode if it's not built very strongly, or maybe the lid might at first. I'm gonna hold this here, I'm gonna turn this on.
And then run away.
I'm not gonna run away, but I'm gonna try and stay behind it.
As I'm eating more unicorn
And I'm gonna
poops.
monitor this for where we're at with pressure and try and make sure nothing happens. What we should see is something happen to the unicorn poop.
Okay.
All right, let's watch.
I'll stand behind the TV. Are we not holding that much pressure?
Now,
So do we think that could be the lid or the hole?
could be either. We know we're getting suction, but it looks like not that much.
Do you want to stick something on the bottom and see how high we can get that to go? So what we're doing is we're putting more of the sealing juicy juice, what do you call it?
Sealant grease.
Grease on to try to make it a better hole. Although I personally think it might be this.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and do both. Here we go. Those are giant.
I don't you can't see how big it is in the camera, necessarily, but it's huge.
Down to about 1/4 atmosphere. Still holding a pretty good seal.
While it's on.
Look at how giant those are. And it maintained.
Wait, can we just...
Now watch.
Wait,
Let's watch the unicorn poop.
wait, go ahead. Can we just give each other a high five here for a job well done?
Success.
I am quite excited.
We're down to less than 20% of an atmosphere.
And what does that mean?
Well, we evacuated 80% of the air.
That's pretty good. Should we try taste test and see if the unicorn poop tastes any better?
Sure. I already know the answer.
There's no, it could taste, it was already really gross, wasn't it?
Well, still gross.
It's just like cotton candy. But it's even more dense than it was before.
Yeah. Dense. That's how I like my candy. If you want to make your marshmallows dense, here's our easy 56-step process to make that happen.
We can do a lot of cool things, guys. Let us know what we should put in the vacuum next. Should we do... I personally, what do you think would look cool in a vacuum?
Shaving cream?
Oh, really?
Yeah, we can put a cell phone in it and then call it and see if you can hear it.
Oh, that's a good idea, but it would have to be off the glass.
Yeah.
And it would have to have some shock absorber underneath it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, I'm so scientifically inclined, don't you see? What else would be interesting?
I don't
I
know.
haven't had a unicorn poop, so.
I guess that's why we need ideas.
Uh-huh. Let us know in the comment section down below. Like the video and make sure to subscribe. You're loved, you're beautiful. Until next time, I'm Tim.
And I'm Eric.
And make sure you keep that smile side up. Bye-bye, guys.